Okay, well, this is our sticker. Okay, I'm gonna leave and come back.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Andrew. I'm a physician assistant student. How are you today?
I'm well. I'm Janice Thompson.
Oh, hi, Janice. I see you're here for a follow-up visit. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that, please?
Well, I was here about 2 months ago just for my routine checkup. I have high blood pressure and then the chronic back pain. So I just came for a blood pressure check, and I had been speaking with your colleague for a while. I've been struggling with my weight, so we just talked about maybe coming back and starting to talk about exercise.
Okay. I see here that you had a herniated disc in your back. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's really painful.
Okay. And how have you been doing with that? Just been painful for you, or anything else I should know about?
It's not every day. It just depends how active I am, or or even how much I sit. And I just take Tylenol a couple days a week.
Okay. Are you taking any other medications?
I take lisinopril
Okay.
for my high blood pressure. But other than that, that's really all I take.
Okay. So basically what we're going to do today is try to come up with a plan for you as far as exercising is concerned. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your individual plan and how we can work with each other to just try to get you to be more active, a little bit healthier, and we'll go from there. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so first we're going to start out, and I just want to know, baseline, how much exercise do you do on a regular basis?
I sit all day at work. I am a secretary, so I sit a lot. So really, just walking to and from my car, or at the office, or if I go to the mall and I walk around to shop, or if I clean my house, just this regular daily activities, nothing too strenuous.
Okay. Have you exercised a lot in the past, or is this just kind of normal for you for a couple of years now?
Yeah, so when I was young, I played sports, and I was I was always a normal, healthy weight. And then, when I get to my mid-20s, I got my job. I've been doing my job for about 30 years as a secretary. So I started to kind of gain some weight then as I got less active. And then the worst was when I tried to quit, or when I did quit smoking. I stopped smoking, which was really good, but I gained more weight. So.
Okay, sorry to hear that. So basically what we're going to do today is try to work with you and coming up with something that's going to work with your schedule and things like that, so you can get back onto that routine of exercising again. That sounds good.
I just am a little uncomfortable at the gym. I tried to go on New Year's Day because I was all excited about New Year's resolution, and I just felt really uncomfortable because I'm 270 pounds. I'm a big girl, and I just don't like everyone staring at me. So, maybe something that I don't have to be in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, so that's something that I hear from a lot of my patients, actually, so you're not alone in that. And I encourage that you try to get out there more. Maybe you can feel more comfortable, but at this point, I think we can come up with a lot of things for you to do that doesn't necessarily involve going in front of a lot of people.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I tell a lot of my patients just to start off, you don't have to necessarily join a gym in order to exercise more. There's actually a lot of activities that you can do on your own time. It doesn't actually take more time out of your day. It's part of your actual routine and exercising more. So like you said, you did a lot of things around the house, doing things like vacuuming, sweeping, and just moving around the house more and more. You'll see that I can show you some graphics later that shows you the amount of calories that you burn from doing these activities, and they may seem very minuscule, but they actually do burn a lot of calories, and you can find that you're exercising more without even trying, which is something great. So.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of times I tell my patients to park in the back of the parking lot or try to take the stairs instead of the elevator. And these things are they're very good for like a lot of my patients in my experience because they don't take a lot of time and you're really not thinking about it, which is another part because you don't like a lot of times even if you go to the gym, you have to think about going to the gym. It's kind of a burden and it's really difficult for people to like go ahead and do that. So I think that trying to implement these activities in your daily life is a lot easier to like understand at least mentally that side of things.
The only thing that kind of scares me is like I get out of breath like walking upstairs. So and like it just scares me. I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing or what that means.
So that could be a lot of things actually. One thing that I would suggest you that we can maybe talk about later in another visit is doing a cardiac stress test, which is something that basically tests your heart, and you can either exercise or we give you some medicine, and it basically stimulates your heart to see if your heart is healthy enough to exercise yet.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that would make me feel a little bit better.
Okay, yeah, so that's something that we can do. That's just in general for your safety in terms of we don't want to try to have our patients just immediately exercise. And like you said, if you get short of breath really easily, that could mean something's wrong with your heart. And I know that you said you have high blood pressure, so that could be a contributing factor to that. So that's something that we just want to make sure is all set, ready to go before I go ahead and prescribe you an exercise plan.
Okay.
That would be too straining on your heart.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Do you have any other concerns in starting this at all?
No, I'm just, I'm worried about my back a little bit because I do have the back pain. So I'm just worried about that and then just really the shortness of breath and I'm a little overwhelmed by maybe undertaking something really big. So I like the fact that you mentioned like doing little things around the house that are not.
Yeah, so another thing that I can recommend is there are like a lot of exercise videos, and I can give you some resources to something that a lot of things that my patients have had success in the past with, and you can even do these right in your home.
Okay.
So they're really easy. You literally just put it on the TV, and it's kind of just moving around your living room,
Okay.
and they really don't require a lot of weights or like equipment
Okay.
in general. So that's really a plus for them, and then a lot of another thing that's really good with them is they're inexpensive, so you don't have to spend like a lot of money on a gym membership. You don't have to go anywhere, which is great to do for you.
Okay.
So yeah, I just want to show you like a quick chart here. So right now I have here your height and weight. Is that correct right there, what I have?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just going to look at this chart right here, and basically what this chart says, so it's a body mass index chart. So this basically is it's a general chart for how we classify our patients on what their height is compared to their weight. And these are just categories. In general, we don't use this tool a lot anymore, but this kind of just gives us a better understanding of where we're at and where we want our goals to be.
So where am
as we
I?
put it together. So right now, here we have your height, which is 5'7". So we go over to here. And then your weight is 270, so we go up to here.
So you're telling me I'm obese?
Okay, so this is what the categories are as of what we have right now, just based on your height and weight ratio. So right now you are classified as obese, but what we want to try to do through this exercise program and diet, we can work with a couple other professionals, and we want to try to get you into a lower category as we progress. Now I know this sounds very intimidating, may seem like I'm like looking down on you for this, but I want you to know that we're both working together in this. I really do want you to get healthier and try to lose some weight. So I think that this scale looks very overwhelming from like a visual perspective, but I think psychologically there's a lot of like little things that we can do to try to chip away at this. And I want you to know that this doesn't have to come like overnight, you know?
Well, I don't have, other than my blood pressure on my back, I'm pretty healthy. So, like, I mean, yeah, I could lose a little weight, but why,
So, it may seem that way on paper, but what clinicians, like, we try to take out the whole person, and we try to look at everything from a perspective of you may have, no physical problems other than your back and your high blood pressure, but down the road, a lot of other problems with obesity can lead to things like stroke and heart attack, and we just want to make sure that we are preventing these as much as we can. And in this visit today, I just want to go over the things that you can do progressively through the next couple of months, years, like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, unfortunately. But we can slowly chip away at this, and eventually it'll lead you to live a longer life, even though it may seem like there's nothing actually physically wrong with you right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what do you want me to do?
Okay. So like I said, you can start off with, I can give you some resources to some exercise programs that have worked for a lot of my patients in the past. And that, like I said, doesn't necessarily involve going to a gym. So I think that'll be a really good start for you. And then that way you can gauge your actual activity level. This is, of course, after we do the stress test on your heart like I talked about before, because I want to make sure that you're healthy enough to exercise before we actually start. So I'm going to have you start there, and then I want you to keep a journal of when you exercise. So I'll just give you another resource to, like a good journal that a lot of my patients have used, and basically it'll tell you how good you're being with exercising and how you can progress through, and then we'll monitor your weight and your progress throughout subsequent visits.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for your time.
Yep, that's all we have for today.
Okay.
But I appreciate it, and I
Thank
wish the
you.
best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Yep.